Black Friday and Cyber Monday are both seen as some of the best times to get a massive, quote unquote, discount on products. But the truth is, the holiday season is oftentimes a cash grab for many companies. For example, back in my Amazon FBA seller days, I used to use a site called Camel. 3 camels. Camel. And in using the site, I would see the price history of any given product. So for example, I found these beautiful pair of socks on Amazon, right? Amazon Essentials. But if you really want to know whether or not you are getting a quality discount, you go to the URL link of the site, you get the ASIN number, you'll see a little how-to tutorial right here. You go on the URL, copy the ASIN of the product, then you go to Camel. You paste the ASIN and voila, you see the price history of that item. So currently it is priced at $23, but at one point it was priced at $26, and at another point it was priced at $20 back in June, right? So I don't have the hack for other sites. I'm sorry, but as far as Amazon is concerned, whenever you see something, copy the ASIN from the URL link, paste it onto Camel, and then you will really see whether or not you are actually getting a discount. But with that aside, this is the reality of Black Friday as a minimalist.
So today is the day where financial minimalism goes to die. Welcome to Black Friday, where the average American will spend $1,007. I spend way more money than the average American does for Black Friday, except
$1,000 in one day, bro. That's crazy. How many hours of life is that? You know? That's like 20 hours of work? What is that? 1,000 divided by, let's say 20 hours, right? 1,000 divided by 20. That's 50 hours of, that's a whole work week. That's a whole work week. You work for one whole week, just...
Bitch, who raised you?
What? As a minimalist, I see the things I buy in terms of time, right? Something costs $20, I instantly think, how much am I getting paid on YouTube per day? Or in your case, how much are you making per hour? How many hours of your life are equivalent to that purchase?
the things that I spend my money on are things that are going to make me money. In fact, Matt D'Avella did a really great video about Black Friday on how we as shoppers are targeted by these massive retail giants, and they try to sell us on the idea that we must buy things to find fulfillment, purpose, and happiness, and that these deals will never be back again. But unlike Matt, who calls for fairer standards and practices in business, I take the complete opposite approach, and I want to take advantage of basic human psychology and greed. The reason that I'm able to make money on Black Friday is because of you. Do you guys know that saying, how the rich just keep getting richer? Yeah, this video is that concept visualized. Except one thing, I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just documenting and making videos of showing you guys my progress to getting to that point. In fact, I just started YouTube in January of 2019, and just recently I made a video about how I was generating $700 per day or $21,000 per month, which I realize is not normal by any stretch of the imagination. That was my biggest month, and I may never make that kind of money again. I have no idea, and I'm not doing this to show off to anybody because there's 19-year-olds who are driving Lambos and are multimillionaires, so I'm a failure by that standpoint. I'm not the best shining example of this, but I just want to show you that the reason and the way that I got to this point is by taking a big risk and quitting my job. But I would not have been able to do that without building the most important stream of passive income of all of these. And that is what this video is about.
Before we get to the streams of income, right? I think it's important to note you need the emergency fund, right, in place so that you can feel more comfortable quitting your job, right? I think 3 months worth of expenses covered is a very good basic framework. I feel like 3 months worth of expenses covered is a good starting point, right? So anytime you're getting paid $4,000 every 2 weeks, okay, 20% of that is going directly into my savings account. So $400 every 2 weeks, savings account. And now within the year, you now have maybe 3 to 6 months worth of expenses covered. That means usually the biggest expense, monthly expense for most people is their rent, right? So I always go by rent. So if your rent is $1,000, you have at least $3,000 to maybe $8,000 saved up. It's always good to have a little bit more when you take into account other things, but that amount saved up in your savings account. Because like at a certain point, you can save too much money, right? You know, the idea of inflation, right? Most bank accounts, the savings rate or the interest rate on your bank account is little to nothing. So once you have 3, 6, or maybe, let's say maybe in a year worth of expenses covered, now you want to start putting your money into things that are making you more money. It's either making me more money by doing this thing, it's saving me money by doing this thing, or one of those two, right? You want to look at one of those two things as far as minimalistic like principles. Or when I buy this, is there no real ROI?
This is my stock portfolio that I was able to save in just 5 short years. Now this money has nothing to do with YouTube or online sources of income. This was money that I saved half of my income from working a job that was paying me roughly $25 per hour or $50K per year. And I did that and saved about $100,000 by age 26. So step number 1, you have to be making an income. Surprise! Did I just lose half my audience? Who am I talking to? There's nobody back there. I'm alone in my studio. I'm making all my videos by myself. I'm forever alone. But more specifically, how did I get here? It's this super secret technique known only by the goat herders of Mount Kilimanjaro. And it's called dividend investing. And it also has nothing to do with goats, but anyone can do this. You don't have to be particularly smart to do it. I'm not. Just look at my face and my dumb jokes. You can do this with any amount of money to create a steady passive income stream that could potentially last you for the rest of your life and allow you to maybe start that YouTube channel like I did, or perhaps quit your job and focus on what you finally love to do. And maybe you won't succeed at all, but that's okay because nobody wants to live a life of regret. And even if I fail with this whole YouTube thing, that's okay. I'm still proud that I was able to have the courage to finally make these videos and be my stupid self. I know this all sounds like some sales pitch in a time where everything on the internet is a sales pitch or a free ebook, but I promise I've got nothing to sell you at the end of this video. I just want to show you my humble beginnings, my journey, and the rest is up to you. I can only show you the door, Neil. You're the one that has to walk through it. So all you need is a phone, a brokerage app, and some discipline. You hear that, McFly? Discipline, you slacker. And maybe smash the like button for all the movie references you might just get in this video. So this is what I've been doing for the last 5 years, buying dividend stocks. But please be advised, I'm not a financial expert. I'm not licensed in any way. I'm just a guy on YouTube. Don't listen to anything I say. All right, now we can really begin. So I'm gonna look up XOM and I'm going to enter exactly my quantity, my buy price, market order. Yes, swipe up. Yeah, that's it. That is literally it. I purchased the stock using the free Robinhood app and I just spent $1,376.16, substantially more than the average American on Black Friday. Why? Because I just added $68.81 worth to my annual income for the rest of my life. As long as this company exists and it's in a healthy position to pay its shareholders their dividends, this company will pay it out every single year, regardless of what the stock price is, whether it goes up or whether it goes down. Now, I hope it goes up over the long term. I have high hopes. It may not, but regardless of what it does and how it goes up and down, it's still going to pay me $68.81 as long as it's healthy. But Andre, how do you know why that one? Which stock to buy and how and who? What? Huh? So there are a few things I look for in a company. I can't tell you what they are, but I can show you, Tom Riddle. First, I look for dividends. I only invest in companies that pay their shareholders dividends. And a dividend is a payment made to shareholders for simply holding on to the stock and without actually selling it. It's pretty cool. Now, a lot of companies pay their shareholders dividends, but usually ones that have been around.
And you see, like, he's just not really like getting the benefits of his dividend investment. Right? He said about like 5 years of investments to get to this point. That's why I've always been very leery, my diction. I've been very leery of all these stock traders or Forex and stuff is not a scam, but all the people that tell you to join their team, like Wi-Fi money or some shit like that, I've always been very like cautious of that, cause like I've never really like gone very deep into it, cause I'm still trying to build my income as of right now, and I just recently like got through all my debts and stuff, like credit card debt collection and stuff like that. But I've always had this knowledge that investments aren't something that happen quickly over a month or two. It usually takes you a couple years to be consistent in putting money into it and to ride the waves of down periods and rising periods, right? So dividend investments have always been something I want to get more into, but I've always been very wary of the stock traders or the Forex people that wants you to join their team so they can make more money.
Hey, bro. Do you want to join our team on Forex?
Nah, isn't that cryptocurrency thing?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm straight.
Are you dumb? Do you want to get stuck in the 9-to-5 lifestyle? Your family is broke. Every single time you go out, your friends pay for you. Your girlfriend wants to leave you. You wear the same clothes every day.
Bro, it's a scam. Like, it's a scam. I can't.
Bro, we make money in our sleep. How's it a scam? Keep thinking it's a scam. While you think it's a scam, people are making 6 figures a day. There's millionaires in the company. Your favorite celebrity is joining it. Are you dumb?
I'm good. I'm not gonna join, bro.
Bro, we're rich as fuck. We're just broke.
I'm not gonna join, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Do you want to join our team?
Oh yeah. So where do I sign up?
Okay, I'm gonna show you. Come.
I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. Unlike Andre, they never say, oh, this will take you many years to get to this result. They're just like, join our team and then we'll accelerate the process for you, you know? I'm sure any of y'all that have been online, you probably gotten some messages or seen some spam comments about Forex day trading and teaching you how to make a living off of that, right? It's taken Andre like 5 years to get to this point. So yeah.
Pretty profitable. Now in ExxonMobil's case, their dividend yield right now is 5%, which means for every $100 I have invested, they're going to pay me $5 per year indefinitely, as long as they are in a healthy position to do so and they're actually around and they exist. Now in ExxonMobil's case, their dividend is the highest it's ever been in nearly 30 years. Second, I want to see a healthy payout ratio. What does that mean? That means of all the money that this company gets to make, how much of it does it spend toward people like me, the investor, versus keeping some for itself? Hopefully, it gets to keep some for itself. A really healthy metric here is aiming anywhere between 40 to 60% payout ratio. In ExxonMobil's case, right now, their payout ratio is over 100%. That is nicht gut, ja? But sometimes you have to know the rules in order to break them. Pseudo-intellect makes me sound smart. Believe it or not, the dividend of ExxonMobil is still considered safe, despite the fact that so much of their money is being paid back to the investors. Why? Because of its sheer size and scale. Their balance sheet is still relatively healthy according to key metrics, and they're able to support their dividend payout well into the foreseeable future without many problems. Of course, there are always risks, but I'm really paraphrasing this part because it gets heavy, doc. Third, I want to see my dividends increase and grow over time. In the last year, ExxonMobil has increased their dividends 6% and 7% in the last 20 years. That is consistently average, and I'm okay with that. I can really relate to being average. It's my middle name. But ExxonMobil doesn't have to grow at a
average, right? Average 7% over 20 years. Did you hear that, Sean Ball? Over 20 years. I've seen some, I don't know, I've seen this one next interview by this one next Make Money Online guru or some shit like that. He was telling people how you can get a return of like 14% or some exorbitantly high, I think Ricky Gutierrez or some shit. If I find the clip, I'll link it right here.
If you're a millionaire, why sell a course? Okay.
Essentially, he's teaching people, quote unquote, in his course, how to get a higher ROI from their investments. So when it comes down to it, once you've saved a comfortable amount of money that you're comfortable with in your savings account, you have to, it's not even like an option, you have to be putting it into towards Robinhood dividend investment. If you don't put it towards investments or towards things that can make you more money, whether it be a YouTube channel even, your money in a bank is continuing to lose value. Unless of course you get a higher interest savings account, usually with a online banking system or online banker. They don't have any physical branches. Some people might say, why pay off a debt with a very low interest rate when I can invest and get a substantially higher interest rate on whatever else you're doing? To that, I'll say that there is no downside to paying off your debt. With the market or anything outside of your control, you can't necessarily control it. But when you pay off debt, it goes down. That's all I'm going to say.
And so on. And this is true here. So when you focus on getting out of debt to the exclusion of other things, on a temporary basis, you will hit that goal faster, more likely, and will then be positioned to build wealth. So all of that's a big, long, drawn-out answer to say, stop your 401k, shut down your stupid investment plan with your stock. You're going to lose your butt on that. And pay off your car today and then don't take money out of the 401k, but stop adding to it. And by this time next year, you're going to have an emergency fund in place of 3 to 6 months of expenses. You'll be 100% debt free. You'll be saving towards your house, and you can restart your 401k. Probably won't even take that long. You're 25, you make $125,000 a year. Stop doing a bunch of crap and pay off the debt. You only got $25,000 in debt, and you got $10,000 of it in that one stock account. So we're down to 15. I mean, you ought to be debt free in 20 minutes here, it feels like.
Rates because their dividend yield is already so high. In fact, 4% dividend yield is my sweet spot. Fourth, I want to see a history of dividend payments throughout the years. Now, a dividend is not owed to you, and throughout a recession, a company can absolutely cut or freeze their dividends, and the best of them have continued to pay despite what the stock market is doing. And ExxonMobil really shines here with a dividend streak of 37 years of continued dividend payments. Amazing. So doing exactly this was how I was able to make $550 a month, which when combined with my super low expenses and a few other gigs I did throughout the month is what allowed me to quit my job and try YouTube in the first place. But let me show you all the other ways. It's amazing. This music's about to help me tell my story. I'm in the zone. I feel it. But seriously, for you, it doesn't have to be becoming a social media influencer. That's cringy. Maybe for you, it's something to try, a different job or a different career that you can pivot into, or perhaps buying you some extra time to spend with your loved ones. It's what I did in the beginning of this year. When I went to Russia, I spent time with my grandparents, and it was the last time I saw my grandfather, who passed away this year, and it was earlier on. And I know that's not a ton of money, and maybe it sounds silly, but that small cushion made all the difference to me. In addition to adding $68.81 to my annual income for hopefully the rest of my life, I also got raises from 2 different companies, which were Emerson Electric and AbbVie, who added $13 collectively to my annual income. And if you think about this in terms of 4% and divide $13 by 4%, that's $325 worth of cash that I didn't have to invest, that now I get paid extra for the rest of my life. And these increases are every single month. It's amazing. And in addition to all of that, I also got paid by a ton of other different companies, and I want to show you them right now. So here they are. Starting on November 1st, we have 3 dividend payments from AT&T, $52.53, Jizz with the sticky $22.05 dividend, and GEO Group with $13.44. Not to be confused though that those small amounts are not how much I paid for each stock. That's how much each stock pays me in dividends for owning. Together, the grand total for November's dividends was $409.38, not counting the dividends. And if you do count the dividend payments, then at 4%, it's $734.88. Amazing. You're gonna get wrecked when the recession hits, man. Well, actually, I'm not. I'm looking forward to it, because when the recession hits, my income will still largely be the same, allowing me to purchase more dividend stocks at lower prices, giving me more income, and my stocks will be less volatile than the general market, because let's face it, if you're invested in Tesla and then you see the new Cybertruck, the stock falls, it's harder to hold on to Tesla than when you're holding dividend stocks, and they don't fall as hard when the economy crashes. Time where most Americans will spend $1,007.24 shopping on Black Friday, which is about the same as having a little over $25,000 invested at 4%, like I'm doing, to be able to afford that purchase. Meanwhile, I will spend $1,376 to get back exactly $68.81 worth of my time back for hopefully the rest of my life to pay my bills with.
So essentially, his financial purchase as a minimalist was something that made him more money in the long run by investments. From my personal experience, on this channel, usually I talk about cutting back expenses, and especially things such as utility bills, right? Utilities, water, Wi-Fi bill, phone bill, recurring subscriptions, services that you use, cutting it down or removing it if you don't need it anymore, so that you do have the ability to save, pay off your major debts, especially the high interest ones, credit card, car notes, and then you have the room to invest. You know, it's not always about necessarily starting a business or having a YouTube channel or putting so much energy into some extra source of income. Sometimes it's just, I have my main job and a small little side hustle here and there. Maybe you do in-person paid studies, or every other weekend you are a waiter or something, some type of job at that you have something going on the side, right? And then you use all that extra money you have built up from your job, your side hustle, and all the money you saved from cutting back expenses and from your utility costs. You attack your debt, and you start going into learning about investments such as Robinhood and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of people just skip the debt stuff. They say, they're like, oh, I'm making 40K per year. How can I get to 200K, right? Without taking into account my current spending at 40K, if that makes sense.
The lie detector determined you're telling the truth.
So I want to reiterate the fact that just because you see something being sold at a discount, quote unquote, doesn't mean it's actually a discount. I don't really know how to price track for other websites, but as far as I know, with Amazon, you can use camel, 3 camels, to understand the price history of this discounted item, right? For Black Friday. And then throughout Black Friday, ask yourself, when I'm buying these things, is there any real ROI of my purchases? Am I making more money? Or I guess in most cases, when it comes to Amazon stuff, is when I buy this, will I save more money in the long run? That's another factor to this whole thing about financial minimalism, right? Oh, and just a real quick tip to lower your utility bills. For example, if you live in a cold weather environment and you normally have your heater at 22 degrees Celsius, or whatever the equivalent is in America or in the UK, lower the heater when you're not in the house. Lower it to 17 or 18 so that you can save money on your utility costs. Also, instead of using a dishwasher, wash your dishes by hand. And don't leave the water running when you are brushing your teeth or when you're washing the dishes. And on top of that, unplug all non-major outlets in your house, because there is still a current running through the outlet, which is still taking up energy and increasing your overall utility costs. And on top of that, when you're in the shower, don't constantly leave the water running. When you are brushing, cleansing, turn it off. And then once you need it again, open it back up. These are little hacks that people do not talk about when it comes to saving money, especially on your utility costs, gas, electricity, etc., etc. And of course, just one more quick tip. Instead of using the dryer, use an air dryer rack, like air dry your clothes with a hanger or a dryer rack, you know what I'm saying? And then once you've mastered this aspect of your life, you start looking at investment strategies, right? Again, even with investments or any type of business you do, it's not a 1 year, 2 year type of thing. It is 3, 4, 5 years of investment in order to get the ROI, whether it be YouTube, Robinhood, etc., etc. But yo, God bless, much love, peace, and joy. Namaste. Always remember, if it doesn't feed you, don't water it. And too much of any good thing is good for nothing. And if you want a full breakdown on how to really cut back your utility costs, And if you want a full breakdown on how to cut your utility costs by 50%, watch my video right here, or watch my past purchase right here on how Uber Eats is stopping you from investing into Robinhood and all these other investment strategies. If it doesn't feed you, don't water it, and too much of any good thing is good for nothing. Flip the script. I'm out. Deuces.
A nigga that was there for everybody. You can't give out your heart to just anybody. I done lost all my dogs, seen plenty bodies looking in the mirror. See that inside me. I'm a soldier at heart, man, I've been about it. We was in the streets, man, we was really wildin'. Reaching in my pocket.